Here's the before, and here's the after. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is remove all of this old paint using a chemical paint stripper. So now all you have to do is spray on a light coat, make sure you cover the whole valve cover, and it's that simple. Then grab a metal wire brush and brush away all the bubbled up paint. Look at how easily this old paint is coming off. Perfect. And a little bit of soapy water will help clean off the paint and the paint stripper. So wipe it down until it's all cleaned off. And with that paint stripper removed, you can see it does a pretty good job at removing most of the paint, but there's still a little bit of paint left over. You could go over it again with some more paint stripper, or you could grab a metal wire brush or some 180 grit sandpaper and remove the rest of the paint. Once the paint's completely removed, do a final wipe down with some soapy water to clean it off. And we have one last thing we need to do for our preparation step, and that is degrease this whole thing. Now to degrease the valve cover, I like using isopropyl alcohol. It's easy to find, so we'll get some on a lint-free towel. And just make sure you wipe everywhere. And with our valve cover stripped down to the bare metal, it's cleaned, it's degreased, it's dry, it's ready to go for our final step, which is the painting step. And one last thing to consider before you start painting is if you want to tape anything off. For example, I'm actually going to be doing something with my logo. It fits nicely right here, and it's going to look awesome. Just stick it on, and that area won't get any paint on it. The primer is designed to form a strong bond to unpainted surfaces like this bare metal. Make sure you're spraying at different angles to cover it completely. When you're done, cover your work so bugs and dirt don't fly onto the wet paint. A couple of minutes later, and we're ready for our second coat. And finally, a couple minutes later, we can lay down the last coat of primer. Now within a couple of minutes, while the primer's still tacky, we want to spray our color coat. Make sure you don't try to cover the whole valve cover in silver paint with one coat. Use light, even coats a few minutes apart, and by the end of the third coat, it'll be completely covered. Alright, 10 minutes later we could spray the tint coat. And for this you want to spray extra light coats. A tint coat is like a clear coat with color in it, and if it runs or doesn't go on evenly, it's gonna look real bad. And 3 coats later, there'll be complete coverage. 10 minutes later, the paint's dry enough to remove my logo. And would you look at how good that looks against that blue? That silver contrast is so nice. Now let's go do the lettering. I'm using a sharp razor to scrape the paint off the surface of the raised letters. And look at those results. That came out so good. I am super happy with this. Now we have one last thing to do, and that is spray our clear coat. And just like the rest of the paint, you want to spray light, even coats. We're doing 3 coats with 10 minutes in between each coat. And with that third and final layer of clear coat, we are done painting. Look at that, that looks so good. We are ready to install our valve cover. So carefully mount the valve cover, and then we can tighten down the 4 fasteners that hold it in place. Finally, match up each of the 4 spark plug wires into the correct holes. And holy smokes, that is how you properly paint a valve cover and other engine parts.